If you ask which conditions are the most difficult to bat in Test cricket, the answer would be South Africa. If you want to score runs in South African conditions, you will have to struggle a little more. For India, it has been years since they won a Test match on South African soil. All of India's tours to South Africa have been eventful. India came to South Africa in 1992 to play 4 Tests and 7 one-day games. The series began after a meeting with Nelson Mandela in Durban. The first was a 4-match Test series. The first 2 Tests ended in a draw. The one-day series was played during the break before the 3rd Test. India lost the 7-match series 5-2. When they finally arrived in Port Elizabeth to play the Boxing Day Test, many of India's players were injured before the match even started. South African pacer Alan Donald made a challenge against India. "Indian players are afraid of fast bowling," was Donald's comment. The friendship in the series, which was called a friendly series, ended in the second ODI itself when Kapil mancated Peter Kirsten. The nature of the series changed after that incident. Thus, in the 3rd Test, Captain Kepler-Wessels surprised everyone when he won the toss in the greenish conditions and sent India into bat. But when Donald came down on India, India was all out for 212 in the first innings. The only one who resisted was Captain Mohammad Azharuddin, who scored 60 runs. South Africa could not fully capitalize on the advantage in reply. However, they scored 275 runs on the strength of Hansi Cronje's century and took a lead of 63 runs. India's situation was even more miserable in the second innings, when Donald brought out his magic bowling once again. The Indian top order collapsed. W.V. Raman, Mandrakar, Sachin, Azhar and Amre returned to the dressing room in a flash. 5 wickets fell for just 27 runs. He appeared before Donald like a matador entering the bull ring. Kapil Dev. It was a time when there was a clamor for his retirement. For a moment, he must have remembered his innings in the 1983 World Cup. The score was 17 for 5 then, but today it is 27. But this time the opponents are strong. Kapil is in the final stages of his career. Donald was joined by Schultz, Macmillan and Matthews. The pitch was fast and bouncy. Kapil Dev fought with determination in that situation and was not ready to give up. The start was slow. Soon after, Ravi Shastri, who had sustained a knee injury and had managed to face 68 balls, returned. The score was 31 for 6. These were moments when it seemed that India's score would not even cross 50 runs. But with the support of Manoj Prabhakar, who came in later, Kapil took India to 71 for 6 by the end of the 3rd day. On the 4th day, he began his destructive streak. The famous South African pace lineup was, for a while, reduced to the level of club bowlers. In addition to his trademark pulls and hooks, beautiful drives also began to flow from his bat. With his injured right arm, he demolished the South African pace attack, including Donald. Boundaries flowed freely from his bat. The thunderous sound of the ball hitting Kapil's blade echoed through the stadium. He soon scored his 8th Test century in front of tens of thousands of spectators. Of the 144 runs India scored on the 4th day, 96 came from Kapil's bat. Finally, when Kapil returned to the pavilion as the last wicket to fall, he had scored 129 runs from 180 balls. Chasing a target of 153 runs, South Africa, led by Captain Kepler-Wessels' excellent stroke play, secured an easy victory by 9 wickets. Donald was declared the man of the match for his 12-wicket haul. But despite all this, the true hero of that match was Kapil Dev. His brilliant innings of 129 runs, with the second highest score in the team being just 17, is undoubtedly one of the best knocks by an Indian in a losing cause. In fact, it may well be the most beautiful innings in the colourful career of the man named Kapil Dev. Perhaps, if he had tried to see himself not only as a bowler, but as a complete all-rounder, he could have taken his already excellent career to even greater heights.